Ismaila, Dr. Awuwe Obanga, Director of Fide Polytechnic Global, not present Africa.
Good morning, everyone. This is a paper presentation by Dr. Awe Ubanga. The presenter is Dr. Aka Richard. Representing uh, Dr. Ubanga on this occasion of the 20th anniversary of the Kubernetes Publishers Nigeria Limited and Team Professionals Initiative. I was speaking on the theme of team unity and national development in Nigeria. The paper is here, and I invite you to read it to its own full flavor. It has been prepared, everything is contained in it. And what I will do is not necessarily to read from the paper, but to speak to the paper so that at the end of the day, I believe that the message may have still been achieved or delivered. There is something that I've done about the paper. Originally, the title of the paper was given as Team Unity and National Development in Nigeria. But when I was given the paper just yesterday, I felt I should, add something to it. I don't think that is going to violate the rules of this initiative, this organization. Rather, I believe it's going to add more to what we should know. So now the title is Team Unity and National Development in Nigeria, Pathway to Peace and Progress. So that is the topic. Now, in this topic, in this work, we are expected to appreciate the concept of development, a concept of national unity before we begin to underscore the centrality of unity and peace in Land or in society, and also talk about the problems affecting peace and progress in society. And that is what we have undertaken to do. But like I've said before, I would prefer to speak to the paper than read verbatim in the paper. And about that, I'll begin by, conceptualizing the concept of development. Because we are talking about development, we're talking about unity in civil society. It's important and very important, and also, first of all, appreciate the concept of development. We use it foreign scholars to try to define development. But that, I believe, is going to help us at the end of the day. Let me begin with the definition of development from the point of view of a scholar named Dodlesia. He defined development using three fundamental questions. That if we are asking the question about development, there are three issues or three questions that we must ask ourselves. First of all, he invited us to ask the question about what is happening to poverty, what is happening to unemployment, and what is happening to inflation. According to him, if these things are negative, it means there is no development. But if they are there, they are positive, it means, that is development. But speaking within the context of what we are supposed to do here, or what we are supposed to understand here when we are talking about unity and national development, is to see development from the point of view of the way Wadarodni defined it. According to him, development is a multifaceted process that takes place at the level of the individual and at the level of the society. At the level of the individual, Wadarodni defined development as improved skills, material well-being, of an individual. But at the social level, at the social group, we define development as the collective ability of the people to tap resources from nature. I went on to say that this ability is a function of how well they understand the science of nature and the ability to apply this understanding so that they'll be able to derive tools which will subsequently be used for the development of the people. But there's something even more striking about the definition of development from the point of view of what they wrote me. He said development does not take place or cannot take place where there is no peace and where there is no unity. And that takes us to the focus of our discussion this day, that we are talking about civil unity and national development. And implicit in the topic is that, unity and peace are central to development, and where there is no peace and unity, there will be no development, and that is just the area. And so there's a sense in which we can even agree that we have ended the presentation, even if we are going to end here, by saying that if there is no unity and peace, there will be no development. But then there are other issues that in a presentation like this, and one who has been elected as the lead paper presenter should be able to dive deep into such, underlying issues. And it is on that note that I will talk to us about a number of issues. That when we talk of unity and peace and progress in civil society and linking it to development, we can say that even in civil society over the years, there have been values for which we have, uphold, that are very central to achieving the much needed peace and development in civil society. We are not totally alien. It is not even strange to us if we hear things like the tip principle of Yanawanga, which believes that we must eat and let our brothers also eat. And so politically, at the political level, it has to do with the rotation of political offices, where when an individual gets it or when a particular clan gets it, it then behoves that the community ensures that another part of the same community also gets it, so that there is a collective, sharing among the members of the community. And so it is not only political, it is also social, and economic, that the principle of Yanawanda ensures that, people share among themselves. So during harvest, if a particular individual, maybe due to certain problems like flooding, may not have been able to achieve or have the yields as expected, one who has gotten it much ensures that the other one too, is given something. And so through that way, we give meaning to the principle of Yanamanda. And so this principle has been with us, and through this way, we have been able to unite ourselves just so to achieve development for ourselves. And in this society at the same time, he or he was a woman is a pillar of peace. Women have also contributed and ensured the stability of families and stability of our communities. They try to mediate. They try to mediate by bringing peace and resolving conflict in societies. Often if there were problems, in society, women will have a way of coming in and trying to bring peace, sometimes through songs. The song they sing, they ensure that there is peace and problems are resolved. And at the same time, it's important and very paramount that we understand that even in civil society, we have been trying, efforts have been made in bringing about peace and unity through the instrumentality of Egypt, Tamil, Council of Elders. We see those who are the custodian, of wisdom and justice, who, try at all times to ensure there is peace, even when they involve land disputes, even when they involve marriages and all of that. And through this process, we have been able to achieve peace. And because peace, from the point of view of Wadarodne, is synonymous to development, and because we have been able to do this in Finland, there's a sense in which we can agree and appreciate that, um, that is development on account of our effort towards peace and unity. And then through another practice like communal farming and corporations, we have in Finland what is called Hebe, where it's a completely kind of farming where people come together, work for one individual, and when it gets to the turn of another individual, the work is still done. And through this process, it ensures that there is collective development of people, collective progress among the people. And through this same principle provision, there have been songs, even when the two people are confronted with problems, they take to songs of solidarity, through which they are able to solve their problems. We have our songs like Iyangi Iyangine Alu Ikyeo Abaseo Hon Sekpe. These are songs that the team will always use to invoke the spirit of teamness in the people, and so that together that spirit is made alive, so that together the people will put together their efforts, their energy in fighting those who may want to provoke them. And through these songs of unity, we have been able to achieve meaningful development. And it speaks to our own national anthem. This principle of commonality or communism among the people, or cooperation among the people, is even inherent in our own national anthem. I'm not an expert to understand the national anthem or to know these things. And so that is why I'm being careful that when you are speaking in the presence of experts, one needs to be very careful, more so that I'm not an expert. One needs to watch one's words so that one can only say the things that ought to be said, not to offend those very professional. I'm not a professional, but I love it when I read the national anthem of Thief people. And let me try to sing it, not really sing it or to read it. It may violate the original version, but at the end of the day, my message may have been delivered. Can you remind me the national anthem of Thief? Yes. Just so to start. Ayo, ageba akayoika. Ayo, ageba akayoika. Omba tilchi tuwadue shateli. Ikuyu hembeye beba ade shai ade inyawe kibo kume kaolayo bia yo onkase wa yo no so do a shanteli kuyu hembeye. This is very, very, very fundamental and speaks directly to our unity. That whenever we are confronted with any problem, we are able to converge, we are able to unite our resources, we are able to unite our energy just so to address the problem. It speaks to our commonality as people. And through this practice over the years, we have been able to achieve peace and unity for ourselves. And again, in this same still land, through festivals and cultural celebrations, we showcase who we are, and then we remind ourselves of the need for us to achieve unity, to have unity among ourselves. Through music, we're able to communicate what we want. Through music, we're able to say that it is better for us to be united. And through songs like Swange and many other songs, we're able to show that indeed, we need unity, and that unity is capable of bringing about development. And in this same land, same society, we have proverbs and oral traditions that reminds us, underscore, highlight the need for unity. We have various proverbs that gives us, moral lessons, and encourage us to live in harmonious, conditions among our people, live in peace among our people, among ourselves. Proverbs like um, um, Kumum, Wihigi Koga, a forest cannot make, a tree cannot make a forest. It underscores or speaks to the fact that, we need to work together as a people. Of course, the tree cannot make a forest. And when we are united, we can always achieve the things that we want to achieve for ourselves as a people, as still people. And then, kai kai, come 10 young Magbara Fire also speaks to the fact that together we can achieve. We can do a lot of things. We can give to ourselves the much needed technology if we are willing to work together. And so, in as much as there are challenges that we have facing us, these are the issues that these are the principles that we have over the years to traditionally uphold in Tiff land, in Tiff society, for which we have been able to come this far, for which we have been able to achieve whatever development that we may have been able to achieve. But that does not mean that there are no problems. We have a lot of problems in Tiff society. Needless to begin to emphasize that, because we live with the problems and we know our problems ourselves. It's important on an occasion such as this one, we remind ourselves of the problems that we have so that we are able to chart the way forward. So, among the problems that we have is the undue rivalry and fragmentations that we have in civil society. And we hear about people talking about, I am Ojengba, I am Ojechira, I am Osankara, Mokwandi. All of these fragmentations, instead of achieving the much needed development, have rather fragmented us and have made us fragile. And so we can accept, that is a problem. And it is even more uglier that politicians have leveraged these fragmentations to manipulate us, especially during elections. I am a thief. A thief, yeah, because you're a thief and you are Jechura, you are Kwande. Those who are from Kwande, those who are from Jechura will say, yes, he is a thief, but he's our thief. And so this ownership of thieves on the basis of client tendencies, on the basis of this kind of fragmentation to cease. And if we can allow this to continue, I don't think we can achieve the much needed development. And we will always continue to allow politicians manipulate us. And when they continue to do that, development will always erode us. We have a problem, a much bigger problem in civil society. When we talk of the problem of farmer-herders conflict, it is a problem that has affected us, a problem that has led to the displacements of people, a problem that has made it possible for our fathers to be buried in mass graves, our mothers to be buried in mass graves, our parents, our brothers and sisters, leaving their parents only to be buried in mass graves. It is a problem that has continued to affect us. But somehow, the people also have a stake in it. Through, in one way or the other, we have ourselves to blame. We have continued to shoot ourselves in the leg and, giving rise to some of these problems. So it is about time that we see that we can take our destiny into our hands by saying that we don't allow ourselves to be killed in that manner or to be manipulated by politicians leading to such conflicts. Talking about the farmer herders conflict. We have a problem at our hand. We have a problem of poverty in Timberland. It has affected us in many ways, which is why many of our youth have taken to some unpalatable social biases or in the bid to trying to survive. And that is the problem that we have. Our institutions are becoming even weaker, and we need to strengthen our institutions. And then we have external, influences on our own society in Finland. And we don't have an agenda. I've always said that the people of Nigeria do not have an agenda. We are just living. When it's time for election, politicians, wherever they may come from, the federal government will come and manipulate us and tell us to vote for them, and then we blindly follow them without giving them an agenda, charting a way forward, telling them that this is an agenda coming from the people that eventually, or in the event that you are elected, this is what we believe in as a people. This is an agenda for which we want to achieve for our people. Can you be able to recruit our people? And when it comes to recruitment in the army, in the police, and all of that, can you give us this number of slots? Can you be able to establish federal institutions in civil society to this number? We need to speak to these people whenever they come during the election. We set an agenda and tell them, so it becomes the condition for supporting them. But blindly, one or two people will follow them, and then the moment elections are over, maybe those individuals, one or two, are compensated, and leaving the majority of the people out, of the national engineering for change and development. And so it means that one or two people have been eating on our behalf as a people. We need to have a situation where we need to have an agenda that we can always define what we want. Whoever is dealing with us, we are able to communicate what we want to the people, so that there is a roadmap for us, a way forward for us. So these are our problems. And somehow, in the course of talking about our problems, I've also tried to speak about the way forward. But specifically, I want to say that talking about the way forward for T people, we need to revive our traditional institutions, and so that we get them working. We need inclusive leadership, leaders that will rise above board, and that has been one of the major problems we have in society. Leaders that have been consumed by myopic and clannish and parochial sentiments. Sentiments that are narrow based, that are not universal of the society. We need a leader in society that can rise above board, to say that even if I am from Jechira, I am a Benue people, and that I am not going to be a governor, for example, for the Jechira or for the Jemba or for the Sankara people. I am the governor for Benue people. I represent Benue interests. If it is T people, I represent T people. And that is how it should be. We need such leadership that can take the people along, work with the people, hold the people by the hand, so that the people can work with them, so that at the end of the day, they appreciate the vision, of development, not only in Timland, but also in Benue State. We need to harness our potentials in agriculture, and we can do that by working together. The team are the reason why we are the food basket of the nation. The team are the reason our soil are so fertile, and through our soil we have won, the status, as the food basket of the nation. And so we must work together, harnessing our potentials in the area of agriculture to achieve greatness, spiritual greatness. We need cultural and youth renaissance. We need a rebirth. Our youth must begin to show that we must channel our social energy, not towards things that are destructive. Youth leader and this and that, beating people, doing things that are destructive, but using the social energy in youth to engage the system, to call on the leadership to ensure that there is change in the system. Bringing about change in places where development has worked. It has been demonstrated that youth are instrumental and fundamental to the development of many of the societies or political systems where we have been able to achieve meaningful change and development. We need education, civil education, and we need awareness. It is by so doing that we can achieve the much needed development. Awareness. So our children, as they go to school, they appreciate the meaning of the proverbs that we use. It is by sitting together that we can achieve meaning, achieve greatness for ourselves. Ka mtenyongo bagbara fe yuae. Enga komo muhingi koga. Our children in school should appreciate and understand the meaning attached to these things. And that is the essence of our education in this society. And then we should be able to resolve our problem. And I've been speaking too much. Even the best dancer should know when to stop. And the best time to stop, like I've always said, is when they are telling you to continue. And that is when you stop. But I must leave you on this note. A house divided against itself cannot stand. But if people united, no storm can sweep them away. brothers and sisters, the Team Nation is that house. Our strength lies not in the size of our bands or the richness of our soil, but in the unity of our hearts. If we combine together as one people, beyond clan, beyond politics, beyond rivalry, then the Team Nation will not only flourish, but Nigeria itself will rise on the shoulders of our unity. And the song goes, Dene Kombagia Magiala. I have been listening to that song and it speaks to me. Kombagia Magiala Beo. It should finish. And on that note, I remain Dr. Akan Richard, and I'm representing, like I've said before, Dr. Obanga. And that can be taken to be the message of Dr. Obanga. So thank you very much. And I'm happy to be with it.
So, Doc,
Thank you, sir.
you have made my day. You have made our day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Welcome.